The scissors work, but they are not great, and I have to say that I do think they are visually unappealing. One side is bent ever so slightly, but the other seems fine. Again, it is working, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it, as you will see later. Removing the nut was easy. However, the screw doesn't just pass through both sides to connect to the nut, as I thought it would. No, one side of the scissors is threaded, and the nut is just there to lock it in place, because most scissors are meant to be pretty loose, and it makes sense, I just didn't anticipate it. And the threaded side is seized up really badly. I tried tightening the nut as hard as I could to see if that would break something loose, but no luck. However, if there's anything I've learned from watching too many restoration videos on YouTube, it's that heat will fix all my problems, apparently. In this case, however, it does not. And more shock therapy doesn't help either. I even managed to break 2 bits with the Ugga Dugga.
Yep.
And a screwdriver. I tried more shock therapy, but nothing. But then, my Lord and Savior, a mini screwdriver that somehow fits a wrench, with the vise keeping the screwdriver from popping out and the wrench for extra leverage. I can just barely manage to get it moving.
Yes. There.
The scissors overclosed a bit, so I'll need to bend it a little. I'm thinking of bending the side with the bendy part. That makes sense. Hanging on it didn't really work though, so I put it in a vise with a piece of wood pressing in the middle, but I can't feel what I'm doing, so I'm scared to break it. And since it worked perfectly fine, the scissors, I'm just not gonna risk it actually. Same for bending the crooked blade. It feels like I'm almost breaking it, so I'll just let it be as is. As you can see, the inside of the scissors are concave and only the outer edge is being sharpened. That's to ensure the cutting edges are the parts that are actually touching and not some random part in the middle of the blade. I use a 300 grit and a 1000 grit diamond stone, and after that 2 water stones that go to a polish. I don't know the exact grits. But for workshop scissors, sandpaper on a piece of wood or even a fine file would work just as well. In that case, you should stay clear of the insides and just sharpen the bevel. And the bevel is about 45 degrees. I'm just going a little overboard here. Although, if you want to sharpen your own cloth or hair scissors, this is actually not that much of an overkill. And just like any other sharpening, you have to remove the burrs. I use my fine stones, but that's probably not ideal, and a leather strop is probably better. On the left side is my scissors, and on the right some random pair I had laying around. Wet toilet paper is the real deal, believe it or not. If you can cut it and pull down without the paper tearing, you've got yourself really sharp scissors because the wet toilet paper is so incredibly weak. And yes, it is just a normal working pair of scissors I'm comparing against. What do you think? Should I put paint on it or leave it like this? I hope to see you in the next video.